All right. Good afternoon, traders. Great afternoon, in fact. Great to have all of us, though, back here this Tuesday, May 6th. Great to have John, Leda, Andrea, had Kathleen and Bell and Bill just from before. Let me know if you could hear me loud and clear, folks. For all of our students inside our live trading room, should be good to go. We got class on ahead too, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Not with me, but with, of course, the man himself, Fausto, the Phase 3 stock course, the advanced trading class there, basically reacting to our watch list that will be building coming up for the market close. Great to have Gillis, Leda, Kathleen, Michael, Barbara, Fred all here with us. And first, before I even discuss what's ahead here, of course, it's on the screen. I want to give a quick shout out to our student Grant. And, I know that we've mentioned this over the last couple of days from the end of last week. From the end of last week, our longtime student Grant, he had to go under a pretty heavy procedure. So we've been wishing him well, saying prayers in his name throughout. And he actually just messaged Leda a moment ago. Leda just got an update from him. So I just want to read it to all of our students here. He wrote her saying, "At home, extremely sore. Can't do much yet until basically the end of May. So hopefully the pain will stop soon so he can get around better. But he wants to tell everyone here, all of our students, Alicia, Michael, Roberto, Jeff, Barbara, etc., how much he misses everyone and just saying thanks for saying good words in his name. So Grant, just wishing you the best, obviously, and hopefully by the end of May we can get you back inside our live trading room there. Now let's hop right to it here with this hymns trade. A picture says 1,000 words, right? If that's the saying, if that's the right way to say it. Of course, Hims was the best trade today, but we've been calling this out since yesterday. Obviously, you see the big pop here, but we were pretty confident about this, folks, right? For Fred, Barbara, Scott, Jeff, Glenn, etc. I want to show you what we talked about just yesterday in Traders Talk. Hopefully, you can hear this. Hopefully, there's no technical difficulty here. I don't think there should be coming up. But just listen to what we were discussing a little over 24 hours ago yesterday. More or less. All right. Let me ask here. I know Bell and John S., a bunch of our students that were chatting earlier, they were in this as a day trade, or they might still be holding on to it as a swing. Let me ask, who is still holding on to this right now as a swing trade from yesterday or today? I know one of our students, Jeff, give him a quick shout out here. He just messaged me earlier on the side. Um, he did pretty damn good. Let's say he made basically a nice solid week's pay on this HIMS trade, at least from earlier this morning. He bought option calls or call spread. So with that said, at least, hey, heading into the afternoon, this is beautiful. This is as simple as it can be. We got resistance coming up next at $50, but I mentioned this to you also just before inside our live trading room. You got to be a member inside our live trading room to see our full commentary, but I was pointing towards a gap fill. This has a gap fill here back from the end of February. You could see it closed right around 51.30-ish and then gap down. So, it looks like first we have to focus on 50 at this stage, but it wouldn't shock me if this goes like immediately up to like 51.30-ish or so here. And obviously perhaps even higher over time. I may turn this into a long-term trade. I was just simply looking for an overnighter here, a swing trade of sorts into this week. I wasn't really like thinking about making this like a long-term play for like 3-6 months, but I'm very strong about the company. I do feel like HIMS will continue to make this run over time. They partnered with Novo. They had the double beat on earnings and revenue just in their report last night. They affirmed guidance across the fiscal year. I know the quarter two was not up to estimates, but that was just one quarter. I really wasn't as, I guess, focused about that. But point being is that they have a lot on the horizon. They have new partnerships ahead. They're going to be developing a testosterone plus menopausal, treatment officially. So I think that this is going to continue to move up over time. We'll see what happens throughout this week, whether I just pull out soon enough, like around 51 or so, or maybe hold on further. But needless to be said, we're going to put this on the top of our watch list here heading into the afternoon. Obviously, we have to. But this was not the only stock that did very well for us here today. So let's basically just go right from top to bottom here, build up our watch list, and go over a couple movers. If you were not as focused on HIMS because of the price, no sweat, because you had this Fox O that was incredible across the morning into the mid morning here, I should say. It just ended up topping off right at the pre-market highs on a false break from there, and then came back down. That part's not surprising. Let's look at the float here for this Fox O trade. Yeah, 3.6 million share float. Meanwhile, it's trading 69 million. No, I got to update that. Meanwhile, it is trading 177 million shares total on the day. This stock, Foxo, on a 3 million share float. That is tiny. That is overextended, exhausted, etc., etc. Now, you could say that with a lot of these trades, like all from the morning session today. Most of them didn't pop like the FOXO did. Like Marin here was more pre-market, dudded off after, low float. What else did we have that was a dud, at least, just to go over the more fails here, at least throughout the day. SXTC, I was looking for a little move on this heading into the early morning, but failed to break higher highs. Maybe across the afternoon, like in a Hail Mary situation, this makes the better run, but I'm not thinking about it just yet. Talk about going from the gainers list to the losers list. How about this disaster? JFBR, right? Wouldn't have found this on the gainer side here now, down 27%. But this was actually your top percent gainer this morning. So it was a good little trade heading into the 8 o'clock move, but thing is very thinly traded. And when you have lack of momentum to one direction, it's going to crumble. Look at this thing. I mean, I don't know where this came from. RGC up 153%, but it's only trading 438,000 shares. We did, and I don't even want to say we did good on this stock. Maybe a couple of us scalped and made like a nice little, small play here, but this being more expensive plus super low float, low volume normally, ended up making a nice little pop there. But look at the fall off. It drops back down as fast, if not faster, than it ran up. So that is what's going to happen here. I want to guarantee that to you right now. If it's not by this afternoon, then by tomorrow, I'd be expecting this to be down big. So, that's where you say you want to focus on stocks that are trading better spreads, better momentum, that don't have as tiny of a float. This pony stock, 286 million shares in the float. That's actually super big. I didn't even expect for that float to be as large there. I didn't even see until now. So nice move. Goes to show that there could still be plenty of opportunity left, even if it's not a super tiny low float stock. So this is great. Right up our alley here with the HIMS trade, the pony AI trade coming off like news with autonomous driving, I believe. Now, the thing is on this one, it had great support from the beginning of this year. Like really good support right around these areas, right around 1230-ish, 1270-ish, whatever. As long as it contains above that, I could see this continue to move up even further. So reminds me of my Celsius trade that I had from earlier this year too, in terms of just the historical level. Right, I was focused here, eventually made that spring after the earnings came out. All right, so going back to the pony trade, as long as it can contain above this, which it obviously is today, checking on it tomorrow and a little pullback perhaps. But I think that as long as this holds as support, the future is looking bright for this pony. Got resistance on ahead at 15 bucks, likely as a $5 level. So yeah, number 2 on our list there, pony. Number 3 on our list, TDUP. Well, where did this come from? I didn't even realize this until now. My interest was so much on HIMS from earlier today. So this has a great spread, moving up a little bit, right near the highs. All of that is perfect, actually. Just take a look on level 3. Little resistance here, 640-ish, 642. I would assume for there to be a little resistance ahead at 650, but I like it. All right. Makes our list for now. Nice little trade. 81 million share float. That's good. Wow, this thing's been on a tear. Where the hell have we been on this thing? Thread up? Yeah, it's going up, that's for sure. Wow, what a move. I mean, just took a huge hit over the last several years, but finally starting to break out of this consolidation and then obviously even further. So, nice trade. Make sure I don't forget about this heading into this week, next week. So, SXTC, I don't think we'll be trading that. Real quick, I always like doing this. For all of our students here, real quick one here, if you don't mind. What is the news out on this company? FARO. What's the news? What do we got? Why is this stock so flat? Take a screenshot of that. Use it for class coming up. Buyout. Absolutely. That is a buyout. All right. So you got this ETF for HIMS. It's HIMZ instead of HIMS. I don't think it's like cheap enough to like force yourself to trade the ETF. If this is 33 bucks and HIMS is like nearly 50, I'd still rather just trade the equity. I'd rather trade the more expensive one there actually. So, if it was like TSLL expensive, if it was like much less expensive, good order book, we focus on those ETFs then, but there's not really a need to. Right now, EVGO pushing back up. That part is the selling point. We'll put this back on our list more for that reason than anything. Great trade from the morning. Had a resistance at 380. It just failed to really flip that into support. So maybe it does this afternoon. CCLD, I thought could have been a mover earlier. I don't think it's going to move now, but maybe earlier it could have. Just didn't really get the job done. WRD, I think this is moving, if I'm not mistaken, with Pony. We ride. So I believe, I'm not talking about riding ponies, folks. I'm talking about riding autonomous vehicles. But WRD, I believe, is in the self-driving business. Yeah, they had a strategic partnership with Uber to bring autonomous vehicles to 15 additional cities. So you've been hearing Fausto discuss this for a long time now with like Archer and Arcat and Joby and all of these different companies for the autonomous driving. So once they start showing good momentum, we'll find them. So you don't want to like force yourself to like try and get ahead of the game if there's no momentum or volume on the trade just yet. But this WRD, and you could see from here, geez, what the heck happened to this thing? Wow, didn't even, I don't remember this really. Pop, drop, crazy move. Yeah, certainly it's a lot more tradable now around these prices. Better spread, better order book. So goes on our list now. Looking good. All right, I'll tell you, we got a really good watch list already, folks. Bill, yeah, I want to give Bill a quick shout out there. He had messaged me earlier today too, actually on Pony. Yeah, 3 days in a row hitting his days pay on top of that. Excellent there, Bill. Lab D made a nice run earlier. We caught that late. It was a little bit after it started to push up a bit, but this is still near the highs. Got to put this back on our list now. This is an ETF, but again, this is a sector-based ETF that follows the biotech stocks bearish. So if the markets are falling off, wouldn't shock me if that is moving up inversely. Peeling back a bit. A little bounce just before. Markets haven't gone really much of anywhere. Probably won't until tomorrow once the Fed meeting concludes. But interesting that Lab D was running up so nicely. All right. If there's anything else looking good from the gainer side here, folks, please let me know. I guess I got to refilter this with my volume. Weed out all the low volume crap. Peabody, BTU. This is actually making a really nice run right now. I'll easily just put that on our watch list here. Looking at some other energy plays, nothing else is looking as nice. Maybe BTU is just coming off earnings or something. That's possible. So right at the highs, it's approaching resistance at 15 bucks. That's all you really need to know for right now. Array had a little pop maybe off of earnings too, but not as strong compared to that BTU. So I'm not going to follow this. All right, we're going to follow UEC. What the hell is going on right now live, real time, right at 2:25 p.m., just a huge breakout. UEC, one of the uranium stocks. You got quadruple U, all about U. And then the last one here is CCJ. All right, I like CCJ. I like the UEC. Quadruple U. If that starts going, then we'll let you know if it's worth watching. But you got the UEC and CCJ. Those are the much better, uranium stocks right now. Bitdeer's doing all right there. OKLO, nice pop. This has all got to be happening at the same time, right? Like this has to be nuclear news, uranium-based news. Let's find out. What do we got? Here we go. White House is seeking to hasten nuclear deployment. We're not talking about nuclear warheads, folks. We're talking about nuclear energy. So let's not get too over excited just yet, really. But obviously with that, NXE popping. OKLO is the better of these so far. It's up 7% compared to everything else. So OKLO, I'm going to put back on our list. Those uranium stocks likely reacting off of that as well. And also slip SMR. SMR is at least one that we're more familiar with too. You don't need to add all of them. You need to add the ones that are trading the best and the ones that are trading the most volume. Good spreads, good order books. ERDX. All right, let's hop over to the loser side here, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. Keep in mind, you got phase 3 class lined up in just a moment, folks. So for all of our gold, platinum, or diamond students, you have access to that class. Make sure that you click the link as we'll repost it once we finish this meeting up. Of course, we posted it just before in the chat board there. If you want to get an early seat to Fausto's live trading class this afternoon, then just click that link. I really mean this. This isn't just me being lazy here, but no familiar names stand out outside of Palantir. Palantir looks more exhausted now here. It's obviously one that pretty much every day of the week, if the day ends in Y, will likely be focused on Palantir, at least on the side. I'm not going to put this on our main list for right now, though. Moderna took a huge hit before. It's bouncing back up a little bit. Very tradable. You know what? If you want me to slip this on our list at the very bottom, I will. But at this stage, we got a pretty decent list. There really is not as much of a need for me to add more. All right, folks. So left, right, up, down. If there is anything else like popping or halting right now that I would likely put on our list, chat me here pretty quick. But otherwise, man, we've built a good one already. I mean, look at this. NCTL halting. Said if there's a halt, I'll consider it, but this is low float, super low volume. Like if you're trying to play casino today, this is for you. But we are not here to play casino. We are here to make pretty educated decisions with money. So the first thing that we need to focus on is spread, liquidity. Not a lot of those trades happen. CRMD, this one at least looking interesting on the chart. What is going on here? Never mind. What the hell is going on there? Is this an ETF? No, it's a stock. This is a regular ass stock. What is going on right now? That order book, that is one of the craziest things that I've ever seen my 11 years with Fausto. I can talk about stacking and icebergs. 1, 2, 3, 4 up top I missed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 separate orders of 250,000. So, you do the math there, how many shares we got on the sell side. It looks good on the chart, but with those orders there, yeah, I'm going to respectfully pass on that one. Respectfully pass. All right, folks, I'll tell you what. I think that's just about it for us right now. I've built up a really good watch list for you here. So for John, Kathleen, Steve, Roberto, Jeff, all of our students here, you hear me say it all the time. Start and stick with this watch list right now. There is legitimately no need to go outside of this watch list. This list will give you the best chance to follow icebergs, focus on good spreads, strong trends heading into the end of the day. I got to jump off here. I got some crazy car alarm going off in my background. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up at least for right now. We have our live class coming up in just about 15 minutes. Make sure that if you are a gold, platinum, or diamond CTU level student, click that link to join. If you are just a member here, if you're looking to learn more about our education, our real training, just make sure that you talk to your education advisor. They'll be able to answer any questions, break down our curriculum. They're basically the intermediary, Bill, between you and Fausto, you and myself. either way. And hey, I'll be back on at least heading into the close. I'll be on just here for all of us otherwise at 3:05. Talk to you soon.